Namaskar and welcome. It's 6:30 p.m. this evening. I'm Sakal Bhatt and it's time for Reporters Chat. In the next half an hour or so, we'll get you the top stories with live inputs from our reporters across the country. So let's begin. The top story of the day. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today inaugurated the submarine optical fibre cable connecting Chennai and Port Blair via video conferencing early today. The submarine cable will also be connecting Port Blair to Swaraj Reef, Little Andaman Nicobar, Kamorta, Great Nicobar, Long Island as well as Ranghat. The new network will enable delivery of faster and more reliable mobile and landline telecom services to the Andaman and Nicobar Islands at par with other parts of the country. Addressing the gathering today, Prime Minister praised all those involved in completing this work of laying 2,300-kilometer long cable under sea before the scheduled time, especially amidst dealing with the pandemic corona situation as well.
समंदर के भीतर करीब 2300 किलोमीटर तक केबल बिछाने का ये काम समय से पहले पूरा करना ये अपने आप में बहुत प्रशंसनीय है। मुझे खुशी है कि सारी रुकावटों को किनारे करके इस काम को पूरा किया गया। यहां तक कि कोरोना जैसी आपदा जिसके कारण एक प्रकार से बहुत सी चीजें प्रभावित हुई, बहुत सी चीजें ठप कर हो गई, वो भी इस काम को पूरा होने से रोक नहीं पाई।
Adding that the importance of these islands has increased in light of India's Act East policy, Prime Minister added that an island development agency was also created 3 years ago, as a result of which the connectivity is being enhanced between 12 islands of the cluster.
एक्ट ईस्ट पॉलिसी के तहत पूर्वी एशियाई देशों और समंदर से जुड़े दूसरे देशों के साथ भारत के मजबूत होते रिश्तों में अंडमान निकोबार की भूमिका बहुत अधिक है और ये निरंतर बढ़ने वाली है। नए भारत में अंडमान निकोबार द्वीप समूह की इसी भूमिका को मजबूत करने के लिए 3 साल पहले आइलैंड डेवलपमेंट एजेंसी का गठन किया गया था। आज आप देख रहे हैं कि अंडमान निकोबार में जो प्रोजेक्ट बरसों बरस पूरे नहीं होते थे, वो अब तेजी से कंप्लीट हो रहे हैं।
Better connectivity will facilitate delivery of e-governance services like telemedicine and teleeducation. That makes this important. Small enterprises will benefit from these opportunities, particularly in e-commerce. Educational institutions will also utilize this enhanced availability of bandwidth for learning and knowledge sharing purposes as well. Meanwhile, business process outsourcing services and other medium and large enterprises will also reap the benefits of this better connectivity. And Arun, my colleague, in fact, is live with us on this story. If I can, Arun, yes, Arun, if you could just broadly explain the significance of this mega, project inaugurated by the Prime Minister. It's more than connectivity. There's more to it than connectivity. The tourism, the e-governance, and most importantly, the way Prime Minister lauded all those who helped in completion of this project during the COVID situation amid all the challenges.
Absolutely, Sakal. It's like a dream come true for people of Andaman and Nicobar. I mean, look at this way, Sakal, that the internet speed that we were using in late 90s, that means the rest of the India was using in late 90s, the same internet speed Andaman and Nicobar was using in 2020, that means as of today, 512 kbps, 1 mbps. So that was a kind of speed that as far as internet is concerned, Andaman and Nicobar people were using. But now a high-speed internet connectivity means teleeducation, telemedicine, all these e-governance services will reach to the people of Andaman and Nicobar. Students will now be in a position to attend the online classes. The government departments, the employees of private sector, the government departments will be in a position to work from home as well. Important part is the strategic location.
Yes.
Now, as far as the security is concerned, as far as the blue economy is concerned, digitally upgrading the infrastructure of Andaman and Nicobar will, of course, strengthen this strategic part of India as well. Because when we talk about connectivity with the Southeast Asian countries, Andaman and Nicobar is a mega hub. We can see that. And of course, Prime Minister not only talked about the internet connectivity, he also emphasized on the point that with the highways, government is focusing on building better infrastructure in terms of road, in terms of physical connectivity. That's what the government is focusing on as far as Andaman Nicobar is concerned. Important part is that as far as airport infrastructure is concerned, government is ensuring that the airport can be upgraded in a manner that 1,200 passengers can be handled as far as the airport of Andaman and Nicobar is concerned. And last but not the least,
Okay, Arun.
of 10,000 crore, that is going to be a reality very soon in Andaman and
So
Nicobar.
basically, strategic importance, extreme strategic importance. Arun, I'm requesting you to be with us because we are coming back to you when we talk about this other big story that we are, tracking for our viewers on Reporters Live. Now, Prime Minister Modi also today held a very important meeting via video conferencing with the chief ministers of 6 states, particularly the flood-ravaged states of Assam, Bihar, UP, Maharashtra, Karnataka and Kerala to review their level of preparedness to deal with the southwest monsoon and current flood situation in these states. In fact, let's take a look at these visuals that we are getting you across the country. The meeting was also attended by Defence Minister, Health Minister, both the Ministers of State and Home Affairs and senior officers of the concerned central ministries as well as organizations. Prime Minister also emphasized on the better coordination between all central and state agencies to have a permanent system for forecasting of floods and extensive use of innovative technologies for improving forecasting and warning systems. Prime Minister said that over the past few years, our forecasting agencies like India Meteorological Department or IMD and Central Water Commission have been making concerted efforts to make better and more usable flood forecasts. They are also trying to provide not only rainfall and river level forecasting, but also location-specific forecast of inundation. I believe Arun is with us. Let's quickly go to Arun and talk about the big takeaways. Prime Minister today, in fact, addressed these 6 states that are currently grappling with the flood-like situation. But very importantly, those important points, Arun, raised by the Prime Minister are weather forecasting, the entire apparatus when it comes to mitigating the floods, the impact that needs to be bolstered, that needs to be consolidated further. And Prime Minister is himself reviewing, not only reviewing the situation, but also reaching out to these states who have been always at the receiving end, mostly at the receiving end of floods annually, isn't it?
And this time there's double whammy as well. With the floods, these states are also battling the corona crisis as well. So 3 big takeaways when the Prime Minister Narendra Modi met with the chief ministers of 6 states, primarily Bihar, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Kerala, and Assam. So the idea of this meeting was to find out some long-term vision. So the takeaway was that localized level of forecasting can be done using the artificial intelligence and of course Internet of Things. And as far as innovations is concerned, we know this fact that the central agencies and for that matter IMD and various central agencies are working on the fact that how can more and more accurate data, how can forecasting and prediction can be done at a localized level. So that for example, if in Karnataka in any specific district the impact is going to be higher, well in advance that area can be evacuated in advance so that lives can be saved. So how can artificial intelligence be used for this localized weather forecasting? Number 1. Number 2 is that how can disaster resilient infrastructure can be created. So Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said to all the states that focus on and invest on those infrastructure that are disaster resilient in nature. Because as far as climate change is concerned, environmental changes are we are witnessing, and that's the result of this thing. Be it the cyclones in West Bengal or Odisha, be it the flood-like situation in all these states, the focus is on creating disaster resilient infrastructure so that lives can be saved.
Well, in this review meeting, Prime Minister has also factored in the COVID situations and the SOPs that also need to be followed by these agencies and the state government apparatuses, on ground, the organizations that are working on ground.
Absolutely. And the third yes, Sakal. So the third part and important part is absolutely that the Prime Minister talked about, the chief ministers have given the input as to what are the long-term strategy and short-term strategy as far as combating this flood-like situation. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi has also said that be it the NDRF team or various central agencies that are into the rescue operation, evacuation operation, or primarily providing a relief support to the people, they should ensure that yes, proper social distancing, all the guidelines of the COVID-19 that has been issued by the Home Ministry, that should be followed, so that we can on one side combat the COVID crisis as well, and we can also give a tough reply or rebuttal to flood-like situation as well, Sakal.
All right, Arun, many thanks for joining us on those two important stories of the day. Thank you. And now let's get you some ground live reports from some of the states that are grappling with flood. We begin with Bihar. The flood situation remains critical in Bihar as the flood water has spread to some new areas as well. Reportedly, more than 74 lakh population spread over 1,232 panchayats in 125 blocks of 16 districts are facing the flood fury. 23 teams of NDRF and 10 teams of SDRAF are engaged in relief and rescue operations. According to State Disaster Management Department, there are 23 people have so far died in flood-related incidents. 7 relief camps are being run where over 11,000 people have been given shelter. The river Ganga is below the danger mark all along its course in Bihar, except for Kahalgaon, where it is 17 centimeters above the danger mark. Salman Haider is with us as we stay with these visuals from Bihar. Salman Haider, first of all, what is the latest situation you're picking up from the worst hit Kahalgaon in Bihar and overall? But if you talk about the districts that are reeling under flood, has the situation considerably improved?
The situation is very minuscule, in a minuscule way has improved. Only 8 panchayats, the water has receded from 8 panchayats during last 24 hours. So you can't say that it is much improvement, but the Water Resources Department has said that there will be light to moderate rainfall tomorrow, and the rivers, particularly Bagmati, Kosi, Gandak, have started receding now. So let us hope some kind of improvement. But as far as the worst hit districts are concerned, half of the rural population of Darbhanga, you can imagine, as per 2011 census, the population of Darbhanga is around 40 lakhs and 20 lakh people are now displaced and facing the wrath of floods. Yes, Sakal.
All right, thank you very much. Yes, thank you very much, Salman, for joining us. And after Bihar, let's just shift our focus to flood-ravaged Kerala, which in fact Kerala heaved a little bit sigh of relief this morning with the intensity of the rain coming down considerably in several parts of the state. Water has started receding from the low-lying areas of Kottayam and in the Kuttanad region of Alappuzha district, which remained inundated yesterday. The inflow into Pampa Dam in Pathnimtha district has also come down. The authorities have downed the shutters of the dam, which was opened yesterday afternoon to regulate the reservoir levels. Ajoy joining us live with quick update. Ajoy, particularly what are you picking up from Kottayam and Kuttanad regions where, particularly these two districts being worst affected till yesterday? Has the situation limped back to little normal?
Yes, Sakal. Today was a day of complete sigh of relief, I must say. Okay. Because last 10 days have seen a rainfall which was far above the monthly average for August. Last 10 days recorded rainfall more than monthly average for August. So it was a huge ravaging of rain throughout Kerala till yesterday. But today morning onwards, it has been completely okay. As a result, water has receded back in Kottayam districts and in Alleppey district, and especially in the northern district also the case is the same. People are having relief operations going on right now. Anyhow, 686 camps have been opened throughout Kerala. And strictly adhering to the COVID protocols, because that again is a challenge for the state government these days. Currently, if you see, there are 4 kinds of relief centers that should be opened. One for people who are quarantined, one for people who should be reverse quarantined for the senior citizens. So challenge is plenty even right now. Yes. But rainfall, as far as it's concerned, it's a huge relief.
Okay. In fact, please, Ajay, stay with us. You're joining us from Kerala. My colleague Aisha Khanam is also joining us live from Bangalore. Aisha, overall, quick review. Overall, in Karnataka, especially those worst-hit districts. And most importantly, Aisha, what is the advisory for the next 48 hours there?
Sakal, Karnataka is reeling under severe floods, especially the coastal Karnataka districts and North Karnataka, and Kodagu is the worst affected district.
Yes.
Several villages have been completely underwater, and because of landslides, the rescue and relief operations have also been difficult. And also, on the other hand, the state is fighting the corona pandemic in these districts as well. So the Karnataka government has said that the damage of about 4,000 crore rupees is assessed, and that is what the Karnataka State Home Minister conveyed it to the Prime Minister during the meeting, and they said that at the present Karnataka requires about 395 crores to give immediate relief to people and to restore the telecommunication and infrastructure links in these districts. So this is one of the worst floods that Karnataka has seen, and all the dams in Karnataka are above the danger mark, and also the fact that the neighboring state Maharashtra is also
Aisha.
receiving rains.
Yes.
And also the neighboring state Maharashtra is also receiving heavy rains. The water released from Maharashtra makes it more difficult for Karnataka in the northern districts.
That's
so
right.
this is also another big issue that the state has to deal with, and there is a coordination between Karnataka and Maharashtra now to see to that water is not released in the villages. And now several relief centers have been opened where people are given shelter, and relief operations are still going on across the regions in this state. And the government and the Karnataka Chief Minister is right now undergoing treatment for COVID-19, and now it is up to the state ministers who are coordinating with the center to make things easier, and that is why the Karnataka government has made a proposal of immediate release of 395 crores from the center.
Okay. Let's quickly go across to Ajoy again, joining us from Kerala. There, what is the latest on the Pampa Dam in Patnamit? I'm sure you heard Aisha, because it seems that in Karnataka, when it comes to the water levels in the important and critical dams, the situation is pretty precarious. But is Kerala under control?
Yes, as far as the Pamba Dam is concerned, it's under blue alert right now. So the danger situation has passed for Pamba actually. But there is one more dam in the Pamba River, Muriyar. It's still in red right now. But because rainfall has considerably reduced in this region, so it won't be much of issue, and people can really take relief in that.
All right. Many thanks, Aisha Khanam as well as Ajoy Joy, for joining us from Bangalore and Thiruvananthapuram respectively. Thank you for joining. And now let's move on and talk about the other big story of the day. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh launching the Atmanirbhar Bharat Saptah. He launched the Atmanirbhar Bharat Saptah, or Self-Reliant India Week, earlier today, keeping tandem with Prime Minister Modi's vision for a self-dependent India and increased local manufacturing. Let's listen.
हमारे प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी का आत्मनिर्भर भारत अभियान का जो विजन है, इस पैंडेमिक के कठिन समय में भी न केवल इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ के लिहाज से महत्वपूर्ण है, बल्कि उससे कहीं अधिक हमारे आत्मविश्वास को एक बढ़ाने वाला यह विजन है। दूसरों के बल पर निर्भर रहकर कभी भी हम अपना आत्मविश्वास नहीं बढ़ा सकते हैं, न अपना आत्मविश्वास हम बना सकते हैं। उसके लिए स्वयं का आत्मनिर्भर होना एकमात्र रास्ता है। यदि हम भारत को आगामी कुछ ही वर्षों के अंदर दुनिया की टॉप 3 इकोनॉमीज में लाकर यदि खड़ा करना चाहते हैं, तो बैसाखी का सहारा लेकर हम भारत को दुनिया की टॉप 3 इकोनॉमीज में लाकर किसी भी सूरत में खड़ा नहीं कर सकते।
My colleague Nandita Dagar tracking the story closely, joining us. Nandita, Very quickly, the overall takeaway, it is, we're looking at a new template when it comes to Atmanirbharta in defense sector, but then the positive spillover effects in other sectors as well. Today, Raksha Mantri extensively spoke about the significance of self-reliance in the sector. How critical, how important is this development?
Yes, Sakal, the defense minister highlighted that the innovations in defense do not just impact our self-reliance in defense, which is very critical to, for India to maintain its autonomy and sovereignty in foreign policy, but also it has spin-offs in civilian lives also. To give you an example, for example, the composite materials used for making missiles also now find
Yes,
a
Nandita.
place
Yes.
in making the limbs, artificial limbs. So for that way, he also said that if India has to become a $5 trillion economy by 2025, defense or manufacturing of weapons, arms and platforms in India is very, very critical.
Okay.
And this will have spillover effects for medium and small enterprises by creating skills for the population and creating jobs as well. And
All
India
right.
will. Yes.
So also boosting indigenization in domestic in defense sector. Thank you very much, Nandita. That's all we have time for right now. But before we wrap up, let's get you the latest in the money laundering case, which is linked to alleged suicide of Sushant Singh Rajput. Today, Riya Chakrabarti, in fact, she appeared before the Enforcement Directorate office in Mumbai for the second round of questioning. Today, she was accompanied by her father, Indrajit Chakrabarti, and her brother, Shouvik Chakrabarti. All three are being quizzed today by ED, and Riya's former manager, Shruti Modi, has also, in fact, earlier arrived at the ED's office. Yogesh is joining us live from Mumbai to get us the latest. Yogesh, very quickly, today being another important day in terms of investigation, and especially ED and CBI now working aggressively in tandem with each other. We believe there has been an additional affidavit also filed by the ED in this regard. Give us quick updates. Where has the investigation by these two agencies reached? And what happened in ED's office today?
That's right, Sakal. I am just, in front of ED office, and it's been around 7 hours since the second round of questioning started from Riya Chakrabarti. And today she is also accompanied by Indrajit Chakrabarti and also Shouvik Chakrabarti, her brother. Apart from these Chakrabarti family, Siddharth Pithani, who's one of the, who was the flatmate of Sushant Singh Rajput, is also inside. So we expect that some more revelations could come today, because earlier we had seen around 8 hours questioning were already head up by ED. As far as you have also rightly mentioned,
but a lot of flip-flops by Riya Chakrabarti in the additional affidavit. Reportedly, she has said that she has no objection to the CBI probe, but it would be bad in law. I mean, what is she trying to say? Initially, if you remember, at the very outset of the case, Riya Chakrabarti wanted CBI inquiry. Yeah. Then she didn't want CBI inquiry. Then now she says, okay, I'm fine with the CBI inquiry, but this is not in tune with the law of the land.
See, in fact, Sakal, there is no way left now. If you just, talk legally, then earlier she had changed 2 times. She had changed her stand on CBI inquiry. First of all, she had posted a tweet to Home Minister Amit Shah and requested for CBI inquiry. Later on, she just changed her stand and said that CBI cannot probe this case because of Maharashtra, because the case is another jurisdiction of Mumbai Police, and Mumbai Police are already recording statements of the people. Now, she has again changed her statement, because we can say that there is no way left, because already we know that CBI has already formed a elite team with the team CBI. That team also investigating Vijay Mallya case. So elite team has already been formed there, and there is no other way left. However, she has also specifically mentioned that would be bad in law. So basically, both sides, she has tried to maintain balance on both sides. Apart from that, she has also highlighted the media trial in this case, and she has requested that she has already been held guilty by the section of media before the one trial started. So there are a number of things that have been filed in the affidavit. Tomorrow is a very important in this case, because already one file is pending, one plea is pending before the Supreme Court, and this affidavit will also be heard tomorrow. So tomorrow will be important in this case, and the fresh development in this case as of now, let me tell you that they are all there. Currently they are inside, they are still inside, and the investigation, the questionings are still on. As far as major questionings are concerned, what we are getting from our sources, that the basic questions are about the income, source of income, what company they were into, what was the functioning of the company, who was taking the call in the company, why the IP address was changed.
From Yogesh of DD News, reporting live from outside ED's office there in Mumbai. Many thanks, Yogesh, getting us those quick inputs. And with that, it's time to wrap up this edition of Reporters Channel. We'll be back tomorrow, same time on your channel Doordarshan. Stay with us. Meanwhile, on the other side, my colleague Rama Tyagi joins you with a special feature coming up next. Stay with us.